Alright, let's see how much oil we get everywhere. Changing the oil on the 2015 6.4. We got the cap out, so it actually drains, vent. Yeah, there we go. I haven't done the oil change on it since I got it in August. Got about 4,000 miles on it. So we're going to let this drain for a minute. It was a 1/2 inch to get that off, and it was on there very tight, which from the sticker on the window, I know that a shop did it because they probably used a cordless impact of some sort, and they put it on there because it was excessively tighter than it needed to be. Well, that takes this good old time draining. I did notice I had to top off my power steering. Top that off with some, of course, ATF plus 4. Probably has something to do with hydraulic winch on the back side. I'm not going to crawl under there at this point, but some of the hoses are a little bit old, and I think there's a tiny bit of a leak on one of the hoses, since this is hydraulic, and there's a whole bunch of lines, and there's a whole hydraulic block under there that every time the truck's running, it's active. Check the washer fluid, so that's pretty good. We're gonna fill it back up, and yes, I know these are supposed to have 0W40 Pennzoil Platinum what is that? Ultra Premium, whatever, PUP, and that's what everybody puts in on. That's the only thing recommended. Yeah. My case, not doing that. It's already got 160,000 miles on it. I'm actually going to put in there some of this, the Valvoline Premium Blue Full Synthetic Heavy Duty Oil, 5W40. Wanted something just a little thicker, something that's ready for the abuse that it gets for constantly towing it under load. It does not have the endorsement necessarily for the new endorsement, but it does have a Chrysler endorsement. It is also SN, so it is certified for gas engines, which the latest version of Rotella T6 is not, which is otherwise I would have just bought Rotella T6 in 540. I do have the fancy white Mopar oil filter, ordered off Amazon, MO41. I wanted the best filter. That's what I'm going to run, whether I'm supposed to or not. I've read lots and lots of forums over the last 6 months or so, and lots of guys are running lots of different oils. Some of my research showed that in development and testing of the Hemi, of the 6.4, the factory was running it on 10W30 on their dyno. Don't have anything to back that up, but that's what I've seen, that's what I've read. So I'm like, if they're going to run that, I can run this. I mean, a good quality oil, change it at decent intervals, keep an eye on everything. If it does for some reason seem to be problematic, of course I will change it, but this is what we're going to run with. And then we're going to check the trans fluid, make sure that's topped off and good. We're going to get under there, we're going to check the transfer case, and I'm going to do a quick diff check front and rear, make sure the fluid is topped off in there. Not spending the money right now on that, but I will be changing the fluid on the transfer case and the diffs. I'm probably just going to end up running store-bought, the Flex, I think it's called Flex Life or something, the Valvoline 75-90 gear oil. I've seen some guys run 75-90 in the front and 75-140 in the back. I know Amsoil makes 75-110, which kind of puts you at a nice in-between, but haven't decided what direction I'm going yet on that. which is why I haven't done it yet. I haven't decided if I want to do the 110 or just go 75, 90. I'm not pulling big heavy weight as consistent as some Hotshot guys are with their wedge trailers, etc., etc. And it's only a single wheel, so I don't feel the need. I need 75, 140. And I'm also not in a hot climate. Being here in the tri-state Northwest, Great Lakes. If I was in Arizona, then yes, I would probably go 140 in the back because it's hot out there, etc. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to bore you guys with watching me pour in 7 quarts of oil. I just want to give a video of some of the maintenance I'm doing on it because I have a trip coming up in 2 weeks. I booked a load for a lawnmower. From the booking was out of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. They mislisted it, and it was actually Bethel, PA. That's a difference of 5 hours of driving. One is south of Pittsburgh, and one is basically New Philadelphia, Ohio, getting close to Jersey. So instead of this being maybe about 150, 200 miles and 2.5 hour drive to pick up, it is now basically a 7-hour drive. And I was going to go ahead and turn it down and say, hey, you mislisted it and ask for more money. I'm going to go ahead and just run it at the rate that it was at, and I'm going to keep an eye on the load board since I got 2 weeks, and I'm going to try and book whatever else I can book that'll go in the bed of the truck, like boxes or tables or vase or whatever. I'm going to try and get a car as well. Car will fit on the trailer with the lawnmower basically. It's an old wheel horse 314, so it's only like a 600-pound lawnmower. I'm just going to turn it sideways up front on the tongue. And yeah. Alright, so this video is getting long-winded for nothing more than an oil change. More of an update video on the Ram and just what I'm working on. Alright. Okay, I also wanted to add to the video here. The oil change about done. Just filled it up, about to swap the oil filter here. This is what was on it, you know, just a typical shop. Threw a CarQuest on here. Upside down, you know, it's like R84060. This is what I'm putting on, of course. This part number, as you see. And then you can see the size difference. This is almost probably double what this one is. Now, depending on your truck, that won't fit. Depending on, I think, well, since this is a heavy duty, it doesn't have the electronic rack and pinion, or just rack and pinion in general. So that's why I can get this on there. I believe the half tons with rack and pinion would have to do your own research, but on some trucks that bigger filter will not fit due to the design of the front end and the suspension. Not so much suspension, the steering system. But just throwing that in there at the end here. And then we're going to fire it up. We're going to reset the oil life and move on to the rest of the truck. Okay. Alright, we got the oil filter cut open here. Just use the my Amazon oil filter cutter. 6.4 Hemi, 1.8 liter engine out of my Toyota. Let's cut them open. If you're ever curious when you're doing an oil change or just in general, look how your engine's doing, like pretty much everything and anything that happens in your motor, from your lifter's trying to go bad or just anything internal to it, you know, the metal on metal contact, if anything's going bad, it ends up in the oil, which ends up in generally the oil filter for the most part. So a good way to check the health of your engine if you're not sure of what's going on sometimes. A lot of the horsepower guys and stuff do this all the time when they're breaking in engines and whatever. They'll run them on the dyno and then they'll dump the oil and they'll cut open the oil filter and they'll check them. So I was just having fun with the tool there and just cutting open my oil filters. All got the same basic thing. You got a filter, You got the body, I guess you call it. You got a spring. That one's a spring. That's basically a spring. You've got the little rubber gasket. But yeah, I went through. I looked at all the pleats in that one. I kind of looked at a little bit the pleats on that one there. Didn't see anything in them. So for the most part, engines are healthy until they're not, right? Anything can always go wrong, but so that's where we're at. Just wanted to close out that oil change video for the Hemi there of just cutting open the oil filter, and I kind of hacksawed off this one side to relieve some pressure so I can actually like go through it, but yeah, we're good. No issues. Catch you guys later.